4 years, no fat day, Mr. Kensei. Well, I wish you would all say that. So if you want to say that to me, just drop a comment in the comment section and I'll read it and thank you for that. Because that will make this day very, very special. Today is 25 August 2007 and I started doing NoFap on 25 August 2013, a couple of weeks after I broke with one of my ex-girlfriends and started doing NoFap and met one of my other ex-girlfriends. Bad thing, by the way. Doesn't matter, not gonna be negative about it whatsoever, but just wanted to add this. So I got a lot to tell. I mean, I really have so much to tell you guys. So I'm gonna start with that one first. So what makes this whole 4 years of NoFap so special to me? And that's something I'm gonna explain in a very easy way. First of all, let me break this down to you guys. These 4 years have not been great just because of NoFap, but what I've been learning during the NoFap journey. And I'm gonna be honest, it's not because that NoFap itself that is great. It's beyond that. It's what I have been learning during those 4 years of NoFap. And the whole aspect around NoFap is not the not masturbation and not watching porn that makes it so great. It's what I have been learning during these 4 years of not fapping and not watching porn. And what I'm gonna share with you guys is gonna open your eyes. But before we get to that, I wanna share what I've been doing in these 4 years. Just in a brief way before I'm gonna give more details. So, I was learning about my body, my hormonal balance, my likes and dislikes in sex, my porn-induced fetishes. Those are already gone right now and I really dislike them right now. That's one thing that is sure. I've been learning about what sex really is because I had a fucked up way, you know, when I was thinking about sex. And I also learned a lot, and I mean a lot, about relationships, about how people have their relationships, many reasons why people start relationships, so on and so forth. It is great. What I have been learning, awesome. Wow. All I can say is wow. Not wow, but wow. And there is so much more than just what I've said right now. So let me start off. When we take a look at NoFap, it's not that NoFap revolves around these two things, now watching porn and now masturbating. It's a lot more than that. It's much more than that. Even though these two are the main reasons why we start doing NoFap. But when we leave these two things behind and start to learn about sex, what it really is, unlike what people have as their view nowadays, and you will do your research and so on and so forth, your whole world will change just like it did to me. You no longer want to go back and watch porn and masturbate again. I mean, you just don't want to. Your thoughts will also change at the same time because you're going to seek a partner out who is thinking the same way you're doing. So it's not going to be somebody who wants to bend over, get pumped and that's it, you know, the boring kind of sex. I'm talking about that you're going to be looking for somebody who's be willing to be on the same level as you are when we're thinking about sex. So, to break it down a little bit, let me give you a brief example of how people think sex is, or how sex should be. You got a man, you got a woman, and maybe a horse, and they all lust after each other. One of them, or maybe both of them, will get a boner, and the other one gets wet. I'll keep the horse out of it. So, one gets a boner, and one gets wet. They both take off their clothes, they'll kiss each other, they'll just give a little bit of oral. One bends over, one sticks his phallus inside of her, brings it in. He just wants to imitate the same porn scene that he has been keeping in his mind. She's going to be sharing the kind of sex scene porn that she was thinking about receiving from him. They both pump and pump and pump like mindless robots. She gets an orgasm, not that kind of orgasm. He gets an orgasm as well, not that kind of orgasm, and they're done. So they're gonna, you know, take a shower, dress, one goes to smoke a cigarette, the other one's gonna eat, and there you have it, the end. Yeah, I mean, sounds like fun, right? what more could you possibly wish for, right? I mean, that's the perfect scene ever. It's so fulfilling. They must have had such a great time. Yeah, exactly. I know what you guys think. That's kind of boring the way I described it. Well, it is. But for people who are still trapped inside a porn and masturbation world, to them, it's still exciting. They still get the arousal from it, they still get excited, and they still want to have that kind of sex because they think it's fulfilling to them. The reason why? Porn rules their life. Nothing else. But to those, and for those who left their world behind, it's pretty empty and boring, right? Because during my fapping time and when I was switching over to NoFap, just after I broke up with my ex, I was thinking like, this can't be what sex is, right? I mean, it's quite boring. One bends over, you know, just gives like the lousiest head ever, and you're gonna give some lousy head to yourself to her as well, and then you're both gonna get at it and that's done. I mean, there has got to be something more, you know, something that gives you that hormonal explosion where you can scream off the roof and say, wow, like you're about to turn Super Saiyan. And here I was thinking like, okay, there must be something I've never heard of before, something that exists. And I was doing my research, I was looking for it, I was taking my time, like weeks, just a couple of months, if I'll just be honest with you guys. And then I found it. I found the things I was looking for. I found the guys and girls, men and women, those people who were actually spreading their word around that the sex people are having is not the kind of sex that's fulfilling. It's empty sex. It's imitating porn. It's so much boring. It's not creative. It's not exciting anymore. It's boring. After a while, I just, just kept on talking to these guys, and I was learning from them. I was asking questions. I was doing my research. I was, using my brains, was thinking logically about this and that. And after a while, I was, putting those things, I was putting it to the test. And wow, all I could say was wow. It was mind-blowing. I mean, something I've never experienced with her that I've experienced with her. And I was thinking like, okay, she was the one who knew about this. The other one was still, porn, dick. And after a while, I was thinking like, okay, this is what people should be knowing. Something that will change their whole life and their view about sex. No more senseless pounding like a robot where both are trying to be porn actor and actress. The kind of sex I was having was just mind-blowing. It was fulfilling. It was fulfilling. I felt satiated. It's the same thing with eating healthy food. When you're eating healthy, you feel full, but it doesn't feel bad. It feels good. You're getting the vitamins, you're getting everything. So your body is running at full power. And that's what I had when I had the real kind of sex. When I had the old kind of sex, it felt like I was eating junk food. No matter how much I ate of it, I was never feeling satiated. I was feeling also bad afterwards. Not the kind of bad that you would think like, fuck, I wish I never had sex with her. But more like bad like, it's not as fulfilling. You start wondering like, what could I do differently? And it's not that you need to open your browser and, scroll for new types of porn to imitate. But it was something much more different that I did that made me change the whole view about sex and my whole life about sex. Because here is the deal though, when you're not being satiated, you'll start to eat more, right? And it doesn't matter what you eat, you can eat the most horrible junk food, you're gonna crave more and more and more of that. And that's the same thing with porn. No matter what kind of sex you have. First, you start off one-on-one. Then you're gonna have a second person with it, along with your partner, who's gonna make a threesome. And then a threesome's gonna feel boring, so you want a gangbang or a reverse gangbang. And from that you go further and further and further, until you went far enough and still not feeling satisfied. Now that's empty sex. No matter how much you had of it, it's still not enough. Those cravings gonna get worse and worse when you're having just a healthier kind of sex. You feel satiated, but it also gives you that kind of energy to try out something different, which is between the two of you. Now that's something magical because you feel so great. You feel connected to your partner, unlike the kind of porn imitating sex, where even after 1,000 guys or 1,000 girls, you still feel empty and horrible, like it's never been enough, just like drugs. And there is so much more to tell you about this, but that's something I'm gonna tell in another video. Now the people I was learning from, they weren't known, because you know how people are. When you're trying to tell them something that's gonna benefit them, they always look at what they feel right now, and the selfish benefits And because they don't see any benefit in what you're trying to tell, they'll tell you to piss off, and that's the end of it. Just like somebody who is addicted to sugar or beer or what kind of alcoholic drinks, name it. When you tell that person it's unhealthy, it's not good for you, it's not gonna help you, first thing they're gonna tell you is, get the hell out of here. I don't wanna hear that. And that's the same thing with sex. Tell people that they're having the wrong kind of sex. They will look at you, you kinda stupid, you're telling me that I'm wrong, and that same night, they're gonna look for something new. You know where? At X videos or whatsoever. So they're gonna download, they're gonna try to imitate it at home, still have the same empty sex, and the first thing they're gonna tell themselves, see, it's nothing wrong with me, I just had great sex. That was awesome, I was imitating and I was perfect. One moment, just one moment. You know what? A minute of silence. Okay, let's not do the 1 minute of silence, never mind that. Now the reason why I said this is because you need to know and understand the following. When you're trying to help somebody who does a mistake, and he or she does not see their own mistakes or does not acknowledge their own mistakes, and one of the things they're gonna do is ridicule you, or tell you that you're wrong about a thing that you're trying to help them with. And I find it extremely important to tell this, because you know how people are on the internet, right? Why are they not well known if they have all these answers, right? Well, if you had a thing that's called the brain and actually used it and tried things out that have been explained to you, you would have found out. But since you think it's nonsense, without doing your research, understand one thing and another, you just dismiss it like a blind sheep trying to follow the wrong road. So my question to you is, what are you trying to accomplish by asking me that stupid question when you're the one who refused to try out something that's going to help you out? That kind of reaction tells me your reaction is like you telling me that I'm actually stupid to eat fruits and vegetables and that is not healthy, while you live off McDonald's 24/7 while being unhealthy and having risk of type 2 diabetes and whatnot. So let's move forward. Another part of NoFap which is great. Your hormonal imbalance will be gone after a great deal of time. It can go faster, but it may take longer. It depends on your personal situation. One thing is sure, you will feel better by the day. So far that you may not even crave junk food anymore and start to look for healthier options, just like what happened to me. And that will make you even feel much better than you already will. And that's because you're nourishing your body with vitamins, minerals, etc, etc. But that energy will drive you to do things that you wouldn't do during your fat and porn watching addiction. You'll actually be productive and start doing things you really like getting to know yourself, improve yourself, thinking about your future, and actually make change that will help you build your future much better than now, and you will love yourself even more during NoFap. Moreover, one part that I called myself on during NoFap is that I actually completely forgot about NoFap. Now, you guys know that I wrote down my first date of doing NoFap, that was on the 25th, 4 years ago, until today that I wrote it down because, you know, I wanted to celebrate today that I was doing NoFap for 4 years. But I actually forgot I was doing the NoFap without writing. I wasn't even thinking about doing NoFap because I forgot about it. I was doing what I was doing without thinking about, hey, today is another day of NoFap. No, I just completely forgot about it. I was so in my routine that I actually skipped out fapping and porn watching that I was living my day like a regular day. Like a day without fapping and masturbation was like a regular day for me, unlike what people have that are addicted. So I wasn't struggling. And of course it happened after the first year, because after the first year, most or maybe all of your urges are gone. So you no longer feel the urge to watch porn and masturbate. No, your sex drive is there. The urge to be with your partner is there. Your energy is there. But the addiction of using your hand and using a screen to watch porn is no longer there. It's gone. Because having the urge to sleep with your partner is completely different than having the urge to use your hand to watch porn and bring yourself to an orgasm. because the first option is a lot better, of course. But here is the thing I want to talk about. I know what you guys want to hear, so I'm gonna share it with you guys. But there is one thing I must warn you about. So these things that I'm gonna explain later on will be making you understand why certain things happen without asking yourself the wrong questions and doubting yourself. Before I get that, let me give you the details of the benefits I had during the whole 4 years. First of all, it all starts since 25 August 2013 until today, 25 August 2017. Scary eyes. To sum it up, I'll explain what happened in those whole 4 years. Don't forget to send me anniversary cakes of my 4 years NoFap. And I prefer fruit cakes because they're delicious, not the kind of fruit cakes. I'm talking about the real fruit cakes, healthy cakes. So my first period of NoFap started off with increased energy, a lot more motivation. I wanted to reach goals and make goals to reach. I felt a lot happier, unlike the feeling I had before being unhappy. I could actually enjoy everything that I'm doing. I felt more and more awake during the day. Even didn't have any kind of afternoon tiredness or whatsoever, and I slept better during the night. My morning mood was gone during the fapping time, but it returned shortly after. My brain fog, it left slowly, but over time it was gone, and I could think clear. My skin became clear, my hair grew better, and I was a social person, but I wasn't during the fapping time. So during NoFap, I became even more social than at my peak. I felt much more confident for no reason. It's not the same like people have that they become confident after reaching something or claiming a status that they want to have in order to be confident. It was all natural. I also had much better self-care. And if you have seen my video of masturbation is bad from 4 years ago, then you will notice that my voice is deeper than it used to be. However, it is not as deep as it was, because I reached one time a very deep voice, but due to stress related problems, my breathing is different, I feel different, so my voice isn't as deep as it used to be, and which it will be later on. My sugar addiction slowly went away. I stopped eating candy, that kind of garbage, but I still eat once in a while some buttermilk biscuits, which is vegan by the way, I made it vegan, and some vegan cinnamon. Those are the things I eat. Sometimes once a couple of months I eat. That's the only thing. But anything else, I eat just healthy food, healthy fruits, all those kind of things. If I want some sugar, I'll just get my sugars from food, and that's the end of it. I started enjoying going to different places in the Netherlands and everywhere else in this world, so my interest grew a lot more in new things. Another great thing, my erection was much better, much harder. I couldn't bend my erection anymore, so my thermometer, it also grew in size because of the full erection I could receive. Because when you're bending your erection, whatever you call erection, then you know it's not on your fullest, it's not going to be a full size. So when it's going to be a full size, you will also feel much more confident in the bedroom, which is a very great thing, which means it's a lot bigger, thicker, longer, and harder. And that's when you're gonna enjoy sex a lot more with your partner. Another great thing, I could have sex as often as I like. I wouldn't go tired. And I'm not talking about the energy, no. I'm talking about the recharge, you know? When you're shooting a gun and you're gonna put a bullet again in it, sometimes when you're fapping, it will take up to hours to have, you know, to be in the mood to have sex again. Well, not in this case. I could go, you know, like a couple of times per day. I could even have more orgasms during one intercourse. Think about it. You could have up to 7 or 8 times sex a day. That's how much NoFap benefits you. I was thinking about doing much more for my future, so because of my ex-girlfriend at that moment, which I broke up with, I started to make another website and change everything I built up to that site just to keep things private, but also not only for her but for other people that I'm not going to mention what they are to me, since I don't want to let them know who they are and why I did it. Now, about my ex, I don't mind telling it because she doesn't follow me or whatsoever, so I can pretty much tell what and why and how. So I'm safe in this matter, but even if I wasn't safe, it wouldn't matter to me anyway because it has been 4 years, so it's all done. So what I was doing for my own website, I bought a microphone, like a professional one. I was doing so much more for my website. I changed everything. I made a lot more money. And I was investing, made up new goals I want to reach, goals that I haven't reached already, and goals I still want to reach. So I'm still growing, I'm still doing, and that's because of the motivation that NoFap gives me, that energy, that dopamine release that makes me like, wow, I gotta stand up and gotta fight like a man. I'm gonna reach it, I'm gonna get it, I'm gonna do it. Now at this very moment, I'm using multiple sites, which include MrKenSay.com, but also other sites. 2 of them. One of them I have been switching to when I broke up with my ex, and the other one that I made before breaking up with her. And now I'm gonna use both of them because, again, I'm still be giving out my service for a very good price. I'm still helping people, still making money with it. So that's the perfect thing. Now, working out is still very fun to me. However, I stopped working out because of some certain reasons, and I still am in decent shape. You can see that my face is a bit buffy. It has been a lot less, but because of some issues that I'm dealing with right now, I took a temporary break from bodybuilding and from cycling and other things, but I will continue that later on. Also, my interest in vegan food because of bodybuilding has been one of my main things. To eat healthy, cut out meat, cut out dairy, cut out so many things. And listen up, I'm not one of the retarded guys that will be telling you guys that you should be following veganism and push it all down your throat like some kind of cult, like most vegans do. No, I'm just telling you why I did it, because I wanted to be healthier and it helped me a lot. And it's not because I cut out meat that I felt more energetic, but I cut out meat because I don't like it anymore and I have had enough. There are so many replacements that feel much better, just help me feel satiated or whatsoever, and also a lot cheaper. Not that I'm kind of greedy, but still, if you want to eat good and eat cheap, do it. I also learned many different things in these different aspects, such as sex, relationships, health, and in the job world, everything you can imagine. I was exploring, I was learning, doing my research. I wanted to help people after doing so many tests, after I learned a lot, and writing down the research that I had been doing. And over time I was thinking like, okay, I want to do something with, which is one of my main reasons why I started this channel and have all the other websites, the Dutch ones, and of course MrKenSay.com, to spread out the right word, why most people are doing so many mistakes and why they should learn from it, and to have better relationships, better sex, to have a lot more confidence, to be healthier, so on and so forth. Because to be honest, I don't care about the fame. I just want to get the word out to help you guys, just like I'm doing with this video right now, to tell you what this 4 years of NoFap did to me. I also changed my whole self. I wanted to be better than the person I was yesterday. So let's say if I made a mistake yesterday, I wanted to learn from it and improve myself so I won't be doing it the next time. And that can only be done if you have self-reflection, like most people don't have. Well, I developed it for my own self. I just want to be a better person for myself, and others, they're gonna benefit from it only if they're the same person like me. If not, they're exit. However, there is one thing I haven't mentioned, and those are the health benefits. But those are the things you can find on the internet. Health benefits such as your body, when you're preserving your sperm, etc. What it does to your body, the energy, and so much more that actually benefits you. That I actually thought, you know what? It's great to talk about it, but let me do it in another video. I'd rather talk about the things that made me change my whole personality. Instead of being a weak person that doesn't take the lead, doesn't feel any kind of dominance, I became like a man. I felt like a man. I wanted to be a leader, just like I always have been. I wanted to be dominant, so you know what, I was thinking like, fuck it, I'm gonna do those things. And after that, I just became a totally different person. If you would see the person, how I was during the fapping time and how I am right now, you're gonna see two different people. Well, it's just me. And that's how great NoFap is. But as I said, there is one thing that you should be aware of that I want to warn you about. And that is if you're stressed out, having a burnout syndrome, or are depressed or whatsoever. Now you can do NoFap, but in this kind of scenario, you may not feel most of the benefits. And because of that, it may demotivate you or keep you wondering if NoFap actually helps, without realizing the state that you're in, because these states will hinder your results. Now compare this to a big obstacle that's blocking the road and you have ordered something off the internet that needs to be delivered. However, the delivery man is not able to continue driving because there is an obstacle and you're still waiting on your package to get it. However, once the obstacle is gone, the package is going to be delivered, right? Well, it's the same thing. Once you solve your problem that causes your stress, your burnout syndrome, or your depression, you will automatically feel the rest of the benefits that have been blocked because of your depression, burnout syndrome, and or huge stress problem. So don't get demotivated. So some things may come a bit later. That's all you need to know. That's all you can expect, because the block, the obstacle, when it's blocking your road, just keep on going, because you're gonna work to get that block away. When you remove that obstacle, the road is free, the delivery man comes and will give you the benefits that you're waiting for. Don't get demotivated. Don't tell yourself that you should stop doing NoFap. That's not what I'm telling you. I'm telling you, keep on doing NoFap. Keep your hands in your pocket or above the blankets, like we say in Dutch. And that's it, because once you're there, you will no longer live your life like a slave. A slave that is addicted to useless things that have no benefit in your life. Not today, not tomorrow, not anywhere in the future, never. Number one thing you need to understand is that with NoFap, you're gonna reclaim the one that you've been suppressing for all those years, maybe even decades. Your true self. That all depends on how long you have been fapping and how old you are, of course. You need to be somebody who is going to be better than he was yesterday. You need to be that kind of person. And this goes for girls and women as well. Don't be one of the sheeple that believe the nonsense science claims that you need to jack off and masturbate for 21 times a month or 21 days a month, or else you will have some certain type of prostate cancer whatsoever. Because here was one thing that I was always wondering. Why do they mention masturbation? Why not sex? I mean, sex is a lot more fulfilling. Masturbation is actually self-sex, so why not having sex? So instead of saying, well, there's 21 times of masturbating, why don't they say, have 21 times sex a month and you'll get rid of that problem? That would sound a bit more convincing, even though I still don't believe that, but still, you understand it. Point is, they've been using one thing and not the other, and they're gonna put your focus on to give you the idea that masturbation is no problem at all. Just jack off and live that empty life that is not fulfilling. See what I mean? Because I know that there are people out there that want to keep you in a vicious, useless cycle, pointless cycle of a life full with stimulants, energy drinks, caffeine, drugs, and whatsoever that won't do anything but destroy your life. So you can keep on buying their lies that won't help you out and will keep you a slave to a system that has no benefit to your life. A system you can easily walk out from, just like I did and many others. Don't be a slave of nonsense. Control yourself, master yourself, and live a fulfilling life, and help others as often as you can, whenever you can, wherever you can. And if you have any question, drop it in the comment section and I'll reply as soon as I see it. Make sure to subscribe to my channel, turn on the notifications, like and share my video. That may be in Facebook groups or wherever. Wherever you want to share, just share it there. And stay tuned for my next videos.